Academy. My name is Chef Sean Michael O'Rourke, and today I'm going to show you how to infuse THC into butter. Now, the main thing when we're working with cannabis and we're infusing it into food for patients is we have to be sanitary. As you see, I have gloves on. I always have bleach water, sanitation water here, so that when I'm working with it, I clean up my counters, I clean my pans, I clean my hands, I clean everything around, because we're working with something that's going to be given to patients. Patients may have lower immune systems, so we have to be holier than thou when we are creating this cannabudder. So, we've got everything bleached down. I want to tell you a little bit about, creating cannabudder. So, I take 24 ounces of trimmings, which is cannabis trimmings, because I used to call it scraps, but then our master grower would get upset. He said, they're not scraps, Chef, I put a lot of love into that. So I call them cannabis trimmings or crimmings. Now, he does put a lot of love into it, because not only do we have small sugar buds and sweet leaves in here, but we let it dry naturally. So this here dries for 8 days on the screen. Now you'll see a lot of people who like to dry it in the oven or even use moist medicine, marijuana here, but not me. I want to dry it for 8 days. I want to make sure my weight is straight, and I want to make sure that the flavor is going to come through the way I want it to. So I use 24 ounces of trimmings, 12 pounds of whole butter. You have to use whole butter. You can't use margarine. You need the milk whey in this, and I'll let you know where that weighs in. All right, and a cup of water, right? So that's all we're going to need initially to start. Now, time, temperature control. We're going to go back to the fact that you need to be sanitized, and you need to make sure that you're keeping your stuff at the right temperature. Temperature control, if this butter, which has dairy in it, goes underneath 145 degrees for longer than 4 hours, you just contaminated it, and then you're going to feed it to people who are sick. That's a no-no. In fact, this video should really be for the trained culinarians working in a professional kitchen making medicine for patients of compassion centers. That's the goal. So, the first 6 hours, I hold at 190 degrees. I put my butter into here. I combine it like this. I'll melt the butter first. I combine my beautiful 8 days of trimmings. I got my little helper over there, Nick. See, he can catch too. And I'm going to mix this in now, all right? Now you're going to be mixing this every hour. But you see all that butter? It's beautiful. I love you. I love this a little even more when it's done. I'll show you. Oh, yeah. So, we're going to want to have this stuff mixed in here. Okay? So we're mixing all this stuff in. And what we're going to do is hold this to my helper so I can show you, because we're talking about an 18-hour process and I'm doing this in less than 15 minutes. So what I do is for the first 1 to 6 hours, I cook at 190 degrees and it's stirred every single hour. The next 6 hours is 170 degrees, and what now I'm really doing is I'm really pulling that THC out. So initially, I need to evaporate the milk whey so that all I have left in the end is butter, and I don't have any, milky, watery dirtiness to my butter after I've solidified it in a cooler. So, 6 to 12, 170 degrees. Extraction of the THC. This is where I believe all that THC is really getting out, so make sure you're stirring it really well then. And then the last 4 hours, I put it down to 150 degrees. Then I kind of pull it from the sides, and what I'll do is, out of love, because that is the main ingredient here, is I'll take a little water and I'll make sure that these sides are all wiped down, that there's no cannabis on the sides of it, because when those things start to burn, you're going to start to turn flavor your butter and turn flavoring all of your food with that cannabis raw grass flavor. I go for the more toasted nut, toasted butter flavor. All right, so that's all stirred. We get rolling there. Then what we want to do is we take this here, and what I do is I wrap this in cheesecloth, and this is really for making wine. Okay, so if I'm making wine, I would put this in here, put down the grapes, yada yada, but I'm not. I'm making cannabis butter. And you can use this when you're extracting the THC and making cannabis milk, or if you're extracting the THC and making infused olive oil, which I call NAV olive oil. This is what you'll use. So you'll pack it in here like this. It's wrapped in cheesecloth. Like I said, whatever you do, show a lot of respect to what you're doing. This is for patients. Safety is first. I mean, this is the safe way to medicate. We want to make sure that this cannabis butter and this stuff, you know, you can make it in your own house if you want to just feed your family, but if you make it in your own house and give it to someone with a lower immune system and they get sick, you've not only defeated the purpose, but, all right, so that goes into here like that, right? So, I have my hand down here. I've plugged the hole there, that goes there like that, and then it starts to come out. That extraction right there is exactly what we want. Okay? Now, if you're doing 24 ounces, this stuff's going to strain pretty quick, and this is going to full, and then it's not going to strain quickly, actually. You're going to have to show a lot of love and take a lot of time in this preparation to assure that, number one, you're pressing all of the THC out. Because if I say 24 ounces of 12 pounds equals 56 grams per 1 pound of butter, or 14 grams per 1 stick, I better make sure I'm extracting all the THC out of here. So, this is what is left when we are all done. This is clear, beautiful G13 cannabis butter. We put it into these muffin cups because each muffin tin there, each little muffin, is 14 grams of medicine. So out of this, you can make 28 muffins and have a beautiful day. So that is the art of cooking with cannabis. I am Chef Sean Michael Lord, and I'm looking forward to feeding you later.